Good morning and welcome to this episode of Superior Angling. In regards to walleye fishing, this is the classic scenario of I should have been here yesterday. Walleye fishing leading up to this morning has been very, very good here on the Rainy River on the border of Minnesota and Ontario. But what has happened is overnight an inch of rain fell and the river behind me is extremely muddy. Not ideal in a spring situation when water temps are a little bit cooler and you have a sudden influx in water levels and a decrease in water clarity. Those walleyes get funky. Now we spent the past hour trying to fish walleyes and the water clarity, it just continues to drop and get worse. What that means is we're cutting our losses on walleye fishing and we're gonna go and target sturgeon now. Again, we've already spent an hour this morning trying to walleye fish, nothing's going on. A couple small males, but that's not what you come to the Rainy River for. Luckily for us, we brought sturgeon gear, our sturgeon net, and we're well equipped and willing to come out here and chase after big sturgeon. Again, this is a world-class sturgeon fishery right here behind me. So we are adjusting on the fly, switching gears from walleye to sturgeon. Let's get out here and see what's gonna happen. All right, we got the boat in the water and you may be like, I know Grant, you're impatient, but an hour of walleye fishing and you're calling it quits. Yes, I am, and I have confidence in that because this, I mean, it's literally getting more muddy by the every 10 minutes and there's tons of debris. Like as I drive upriver here, I'm having to dodge around debris. So this happens every year. This isn't the Big Fork and Little Fork breaking open. This is just after some rain last night. But this is the exact same thing that happens when the forks break open too, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is typically, you know, you see these high water levels when the Big and Little Forks let loose and we have some colder water, and this year was kind of odd. We didn't really have that big major push of water. It's been super dry. We had a dry last fall. And basically now we get 2 inches of rain and you know, most of the ground is still frozen, so it's still infiltrating into the system, and that's where you get all this mud from. And I mean, we're seeing a direct result of all the trees and grass and everything in the water right now. So
yeah, so if you, I mean, again, our intentions were big walleyes, and that's what everyone likes to catch up here, but a lot of other people, including us, love big sturgeon as well. Not even big sturgeon, sturgeon in general. Every sturgeon you have the chance of catching is an absolute blast. So I'm excited to fish these sturgeon today, but there's just no hope for walleyes. I mean, I'm sure in the background that you can see all the debris we're going by. I mean, it's getting nasty out here. So keep that in mind. If you come up here in the springtime to fish walleyes, the Big Fork and Little Fork break open every year during walleye season up here. Or if you have a system come through like we did last night that's gonna drop 1 inch to 2 inches of rain like it did, you gotta have a backup plan. And our backup plan is sturgeon. Luckily, you told me to bring the sturgeon rods and nets, and we did. So I'm looking forward to today. Let's drive around, do some auto charting on our Lowrance here and try to find an area where we think there's gonna be a sturgeon. All right, so we've identified an area that's about 2 feet deeper than kind of the direct area around us, as Eric was mentioning. You know, we took some time and did some auto charting back and forth and found kind of a 15-foot depression surrounded by 13 feet of water. So sturgeon like a little bit deeper holes. Yes, there's holes out here on the Rainy River that are 20, 30 feet, but those have tons of current. So we're kind of staying away from those areas. But in kind of the main river, if you can find any sort of little depression, yes, there's sturgeon out here everywhere. You don't need to be in one specific spot. There's really no direct magic or science to it, but it gives you a little bit more confidence if you can find a little bit of depression. You know, if you just have flat bottom, those fish, I mean, truly could be anywhere. If you have a depression, you know, you can hypothetically think that maybe 1 or 2 are gonna go in there and rest. So, or kind of hang out or attract more fish. So that's what we found. We're gonna get our Minn Kota down there and spot lock, and with this current, there's a lot of current. Again, it's picking up every hour as well from all this rain. We're going to use our kicker motor as well to alleviate some of the stress on our Minn Kota. So.
basic, real simple setup. This is probably about the most simple fishing you can get. This is just a St Croix ledge tournament, 9-foot heavy. Basically just a simple muskie setup, really. I mean, this is same setup I'll use for muskies. Probably about an 80-pound line. I just use the same line as the leader too. Maybe go about a foot long with the leader. Good heavy barrel swivel. Right now we're using 5-ounce or piece of lead here. Usually you can get by with like 3 or 4 ounces, but there's so much water coming through the system right now and so much debris in the water. You need to stay flat on the bottom. So this will just lay on the bottom. We'll gob this hook up with a couple night crawlers and some leftover minnows from walleye fishing. And really it's so simple. Whenever these suckers are gonna kind of sit on top of your bait, they're gonna eat it, right? So it's not like you have to be super sensitive about what you're using, but they'll take the bait, kind of run off. Your lead will stay on bottom. These reels have clickers on them, and we just kind of sit here. I know it's kind of boring fishing, but sit here, wait for that clicker to go off, then it's game on.
Right there. There's a fish. That feels like a good one. That feels like a good one. Come on, baby. Oh, man. Come on up, come on up. It's a game of patience. It's a game of patience. Took a little bit for that first fish, but we have it on the line. But that's what sturgeon fishing is all about. How much patience you have. Not ideal conditions, little cold. We have some mist coming down, some rain, more rain coming our way. Like, we're starting to question whether it was worth switching to sturgeon or not, because it did take a while for that first bite. But now we got it on. That was worth the wait. So much debris. We're having to clear lines every 20 minutes. But that's the nice part about sturgeon fishing is water clarity is not part of the equation. Water clarity is irrelevant. What your sturgeon do is they kind of have those whiskers called barbels that they just swim around on the bottom, and when they feel something, you know, they're gonna slurp it up, and that's a gob of night crawlers and some minnows. So they're not like a walleye, they're not like other fish. You can have, you know, as dirty of water as possible, and it's not gonna impact the bite on these sturgeon. That's a long one. All right, so I'm gonna go up. You're gonna go behind me. I can't do anything. Jesus.
Where is this thing?
I don't know, the water's so dirty.
I can't see
I'm shaking. Half nervous, half tired.
It's like literally 6 inches under the water and you can't see it.
All right, I got his head turned now. Oh, it's way back there. Oh no. Oh, that's a big fish. When we say we wanted a fish to fill up the RS Nets Musky Mag, we got what we asked for, because that is a giant. All right, let's hoist this big girl into the boat. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's a good fish. That there is worth the wait. That there is worth the wait. What a fish. What a fight. I'm shaking, I'm numb. That's a big girl. Woo. Look at this. That fish has some length on it, man. Oh, help me out, Eggsy. Oh, that one has some length on her. That is a heck of a first fish of the day here on a damp and dreary rainy river in April. Oh man, what a fish. Now, something like this, these sturgeon, they do not reach like sexual maturity until they're 20 to 25 years old, meaning, you know, they're not going to start spawning until they get of that age. And these bigger females like this only spawn once every what, 4, 5, 6 years.
Yeah, somewhere in there. So I mean, this fish is perfectly healthy. We'll get a quick couple photos here, and they're so strong. I mean, even just holding this thing, if she wanted to turn, I mean, she'll overpower us. Yeah.
And you can see up by Eggsy's left hand there, those are the barbels that, you know, they feel. So they're just cruising around on bottom. They don't care about water clarity. And they, you know, sensed out obviously our ball of bait down there and sucked it in. And, you know, 45 minutes later, we get the fish in the boat. So what a fish, what a fight. I love it. Let's get a still picture and get this girl back in the water. Whoa. See ya. Man, that water is cold. That water is muddy. I mean, that fish is down there 2-3 inches. You can't even see that fish. So that just shows you, cut your losses with your plan A, switch to plan B, and things are gonna work out. What a fish.
All right, so I'll show you guys what I got here in my fancy tackle box. Just real easy to carry everything in just a small little deal like this. Just keep all my hooks, swivels, and weights in here. We're just using like 4/0, 5/0 plain shank hooks. Swivels is just a size 4, 100-pound swivel. We might have fish here, hold on. I feel weight there. All right, I'm gonna set the hook on this on. Oh yeah, there we go. Nice. Wow, unreal. All right, well, Corey, you want to clear some rods? This feels like a decent fish. I don't know if it's going to be the size of quite what Grant had, but man, these things are so powerful.
Going to that side, let me get the net together here. Crazy. I guess you just had to start talking about what tackle we're using to kill some downtime and a rod goes off. Can't beat that. Can't beat that.
Man, I don't care if these things are 30 inches or 70 inches.
Right.
Like,
they fight.
Yeah, you're gonna have a good fight. They're so fun.
And that was, you know, right away this morning, and you know, hour and a half of nothing. I just got that 62. Not, you know, 20, 30 minutes later, we hook another one. So that just goes to show you, they come in waves. You just gotta, you know, stay patient and just have that confidence that there's fish below you, because chances are that there is. You know, if you go a while, they're just, you know, they're just being funky, they're just not biting. There's not a whole lot you can do. Like walleye fishing, you move if you don't get bit, or trout fishing, you move if you don't get bit. Sturgeon fishing, you don't move that much. Sure, you can toggle here and there, but again, these fish are not structure oriented. They're just on the bottom, roaming around, and you just got to get lucky and have one intersect your bait. You got your hands full there, buddy.
I sure do.
You got your hands full. And if there's 2 nets for this, RS nets make, you know, fabulous, heavy duty, like durable nets. You can customize your colors on them. This is the Musky Mag. This is the biggest one they make that, you know, this can swallow up a 65, 70 inch sturgeon. The Solo Slimer is a little bit smaller, which is nice too. It's a little bit more easily maneuverable. That's a good fish.
Oh yeah.
That's a good fish. There we go.
You get him?
We got him, buddy. We got him. That's a big fish. That's another just prehistoric dinosaur. These fish are just incredible out here. What a population of fish you guys have up here, man. I mean,
they're so fun.
What do they say? Have you ever heard a published number? I mean, I think they say, what, over 100,000 of them that are, you know, over that 40-inch range, but
I mean,
that seems a little low to me.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fish.
There's got to be a couple 100,000 of these things. I mean, I don't know exactly what their projected numbers are, but there's so many of them down here, and to be able to sit down here, catch and release, like there's nothing better.
It's fun. Oh, go, man. Oh, that's a big fish. That's a big fish. That's right up there with the one I just caught.
It's a nice one.
Oh.
And probably about the funnest fish that you can catch in freshwater. They're so cool.
I love these barbels of them. They look
so strong.
Oh,
like,
they are.
They just do with whatever they want. Their big pec fins will hold them on the bottom, and man, to be able to swim up all these rapids and everything that they go through, they gotta be strong, right?
Well, you see us in like whitewater rapids, you see them like jumping in the current, and they're just, they do what they want. I mean, the largest fish in Minnesota right here, the sturgeon, and we are having a blast catching them here on the Rainy River. Despite the clouds and the dreariness right now, some sun is in our forecast. They're starting to break up there, so we got that to look forward to. Maybe a little bit warmer temps here in a little bit, but right now these sturgeon are keeping us hot and heavy. I mean, that's a workout.
Yeah.
You break a sweat.
They're so fun. There she goes, underneath the water, and just a couple inches, she's gone. Sweet. So as we were saying before, that fish, basically using just 4 and 5 odd hooks. Pretty simple. Use these flat weights. A lot of people use egg sinkers too. They work, but then they tend to roll around. Right now we're using 5-ounce weights. They come in obviously a variety of ounces, but 5 odd is what's working for us right now. It's keeping us on bottom, so we're not sliding around or rolling around to anything. The swivels, these are just welded ball bearing swivels here. 100, 120 pounds, that's obviously plenty good. It's not going to matter if you go super high on your gear. You know, you have a chance at over 100-pound fish, and it's not going to make a difference if you got another little bit of metal laying down there with all your tackle. So pretty basic setup, and you don't need much. I mean, obviously I got a lot of room to spare in my nice little coffee can here. Tape measure, pair of scissors, pliers. It's pretty easy. Just carry this around and you're good to go.
This feels like one here. Yep.
Yep.
You got a fish?
Yep. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Right on the drone too, huh?
Well, it looks like you're pretty torqued over. Feel like a good one?
This is a great fish, yeah. He ran up the other side of the boat. Now he's come around this side, and this is definitely the biggest one I've hooked up with.
Nice. Nice. So, and for whatever reason, I mean, we saw it go forward once, but it seems like the bigger ones, it's like they just start swimming upstream. It's like they don't even know they're hooked yet, and then, you know, they kind of take off towards the bow of the boat. But this one's been all over the place, and you got
there he goes again. What a powerful fish. So I was actually checking this rod as debris was coming by, and I had it in my hand, and I felt him hit it, and he just buried it. It was a really good hook set, so I'm a little more confident that this one might actually get into the boat. This is going to be a nice fish, I'm hoping.
Isn't this sweet to be able to come out here and catch and release these things? And I mean, these things were almost extinct at one point just because of overfishing. So to come back out here and do this again and again and again it's probably one of the better fishery success stories, to bring these back to the numbers that we got now. I mean, I don't know what the numbers are, but there's a ton of them in here.
Oh, we just saw a glimpse of them. First glimpse, yep. And half of the fun is reeling them in, but the other half of the fun is watching them swim away. It's it's a real treat to see something that a fish like this is likely older than we are.
100%.
And to watch it go back and for maybe somebody else to catch it or to spawn and continue. Oh, that's a nice fish.
That's a giant.
Oh. Holy cow! Oh, woo! Here he comes. Oh.
You're gonna bring him up ahead?
There's a giant.
Come back to me. Yes! Yes!
Wow, what a fish.
That's
I cannot wait to get this one in the boat.
That's sweet. That's a big one.
All right, let's get this guy into the boat. Oh,
Heavy.
big fish.
Look at how fat that one is. That's definitely the fattest one that we've got yet, so that's sweet. That's a big one. All right, let's get this sucker out. You know, these things only spawn probably every, I think fishery says like 4 or 6 years, something like that. This one's super fat. I'm just guessing right now that it's in the mid 60s, low to mid 60s, and it's probably got, you know, it's full of eggs. This one's on its way up to spawn here some point this spring, so we're definitely going to take care of this thing, get a quick measure on it, and send her on her way. All right, just snapped a quick measurement and picture of this thing. 65 inches. Man, what a day we've had. Like, you know, springtime here, you just got to go with the conditions, and couldn't fish walleyes, adapted to these things. So much fun, and what an awesome day that we've had. We're gonna get this thing back in the water so she can go up and spawn, do her thing. We'll dump her over that way. I'll give you the head. All right. Grab the tail here. Yep. There you go.
All right.
And away she goes.
What a fish. What a fish. What a great day.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.